here at AT&T Stadium. And Rambo on the return as the coverage unit able to corral him just around the 20-yard line. So say hello to Spencer Rattler, and we talked about the tremendous season of growth. Choppy to start the year, dealt with the turnovers early on, took the quick breather against Texas, and now a record-setting first-year quarterback and a Big 12 champion.
And I thought the best game of his season in the Big 12 championship, he was sharp, he was focused, and displaying that moxie, now a championship quarterback in just his freshman season.
Stevenson, the running back, and he'll get the early work as he takes it ahead for 4.5 yards. He led the way against Iowa State in the Big 12 championship with 97 rushing yards.
And really this offense changed once he got back on the roster. Big bruising back, and really has opened up this rushing attack for Lincoln Riley.
First pass of the game and complete to Rambo for a chunk play for the Sooners. Charleston Rambo, the junior from Cedar Hill, Texas.
A lot of cushion being played there by the safety, Donovan Steiner. Just a simple hitch route. Quarterback Spencer Rattler identifies the off coverage, easy pitch and catch, and Charleston Rambo with a nice pickup after the catch.
26 yards, 16 yards after the catch for Rambo. Stevenson. More running room off the left side, and the Sooners, here they go with this offense that has found its stride. Ramondre Stevenson, the big burly senior from Vegas.
Well, this is their favorite rushing attack. It's going to be their counter. They're going to pull both guard and tackle from the backside. The bread and butter of this offense for Lincoln Riley. You got offensive linemen getting to the second level. Nice block there on Diabate, and a big hole on the perimeter for Stevenson.
Boy, we've seen a lot of this from the Sooners this year. Fast starts. And Stevenson with a spin move inside the 30. Dusty, they have outscored their opponents 134-17 in the first quarter this season.
It's great game planning by Lincoln Riley. He does such a good job opening up games, understanding what he's going to get defensively, and putting together a picture-perfect start to games each and every week. It's quite remarkable to watch throughout the course of the season.
After the 6-yard run by Stevenson, Rattler, a little bit of pressure as he launches it downfield. Touchdown, Sooners, the breakout freshman, Marvin Mims. 27-yard touchdown, Rattler to Mims, and Rattler stood in there tough.
Well, Lincoln Riley told us this week they thought they had a special player in Marvin Mims, but not this special. You see him working out of the slot, uncovered. Steiner again, given too much space. And Spencer Rattler, nice find, nice throw, quick touchdown for the Sooners.
9 touchdown catches on the year for Marvin Mims from Frisco, Texas. Comes back to the DFW area and does that to open up this Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Joe, Dusty, and Holly with you here. Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, 7-0 because of that tandem for the Sooners, Rattler and Mims. Take us through it, Dusty, the damage that they've done.
Well, Donovan Steiner is not in good position. Looking right here, you just see Mims, and he's just going to work right here, and it's perfectly identified by Spencer Rattler. Pressure by Bernie in his face, stands strong in the pocket, and delivers an absolute dime over the shoulder. Too much room, safety couldn't get back. Easy pitch and catch from Rattler to Mims.
Marvin Mims, who broke the Oklahoma freshman touchdown catch record this year. And now here comes the Heisman finalist, Kyle Trask. Dameon Pierce in the backfield to start things off for the Gators. Remember, top 4 pass catchers not in action, and he goes to Justin Shorter right away. We expect Shorter to be a big part of the weaponry tonight. Kyle Trask, who led the nation with 43 touchdown passes.
love his pocket presence, man. He stands strong in the pocket, goes through his progressions, and he finds the open man time and time again.
He did so to Shorter for 13 yards. Goes to the near side, and it is picked off. Norwood, pick 6. Trey Norwood takes it back.
Wow, what a start for the Sooners. Coming into this game, Trey Norwood had 4 interceptions in his last 5 games, make it 5 out of 6. Watch Trask stare down his intended target, and Trey Norwood, eyes on the quarterback, steps in front and strolls in the end zone for a second quick Sooner touchdown.
Remember, only 5 interceptions thrown all season by Trask. And on his second throw of this Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, Trey Norwood houses it. His 5th of the season. And the young Spencer Rattler is saying, we got energy early. 14-zip Sooners. 2-touchdown lead early on here against the Gators. You know, it's interesting. We made
big possession here for Florida and Kyle Trask.
All right, so first play after throwing the pick 6, it is Pierce, and Pierce is wrapped up and sent back by that front 7 for the Sooners. Let's take a look at tonight's Chick-fil-A impact players.
We've already seen for Florida, Justin Shorter, the wide receiver, at 6'5". He is a mismatch outside. He needs to have a big night. And Ronnie Perkins, so disruptive, so productive, and the emotional leader of this Sooner defense.
His first 5 games dating back to a suspension. He has been sensational in his return. 2nd and 6. Pierce again, and this time driven back by Brian Asamoah. And this is the difference with this Oklahoma defense led by the coordinator Alex Grinch, his 2nd year after coming over from Ohio State.
One of the best run-stopping defenses in all of college football, giving up right around 90 yards a game. They penetrate, they're disruptive, and they're setting up 3rd and long situation for the quarterback, Kyle Trask.
Number 1 run defense in the Big 12. 3rd and 7. Pierce split out, empty look for Trask. 4-man rush, Trask over the middle and gets it complete to Rick Wells, a senior from Jacksonville.
Really good protection by the Florida offensive line. Plenty of time for Kyle Trask to stand strong in the pocket, navigate, locate the open receiver over the middle of the field.
10-yard reception there. Pierce comes back to flank Trask on 1st down. Trask, another 1st down toss as he goes to Zipperer, Keon Zipperer, one of the 2 tight ends filling in for Kyle Pitts, the All-America, who is headed off to the NFL.
And right here, Zipperer uses his body to work against a defender, works himself open, an easy pitch and catch for Kyle Trask. And with those tight ends, they played a lot this year and productive when Kyle Pitts was out of the lineup.
13-yard reception for Zipperer. And now sprint right, and then a little slip to Zipperer. Well-designed play as he lowers the shoulder and goes ahead for 10.5 yards.
He sold this so well. Sells that he's blocking initially. Excellent job drawing the defender. You see him right here. Hold tight on it as if he's blocking the defensive end. And then releases out last second. A nice find by Kyle Trask. Nice response here after the pick 6 in this 2nd drive.
Awkward handoff there, but Pierce makes the most of it as he works his way to the 32-yard line. Nick Benito with the tackle.
We've seen this Florida offense go away from the run game at times and really lock in throwing the football. Down some of their weapons, I think it's imperative that they establish a line of scrimmage, run the football, and take a little of that pressure off of Kyle Trask and these young receivers.
Of course, Florida led the nation passing yards this year, came in at 388 per game. 2nd and 5. Trask. That ball is intercepted, deflected and intercepted by Asamoah. And now on the return, and Kyle Trask, the Heisman finalist, has thrown 2 interceptions this early in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, and this is one Kyle Trask wishes he had back. Kamari Gamble, he is open in the middle of the field, throws it high and behind his intended target. Used to throw into the 6'6" Kyle Pitts, and it's Gamble unable to bring it in. Ball's in the air, the old tip drill, and Brian Asamoah, right place, right time for the second Sooner takeaway in his
back with the ball. And Stevenson patiently looking for something. He spins free. Ramondre Stevenson, a stiff arm for something extra. And the big back goes for 22 yards.
Well, it's the counter once again. Again, the bread and butter of this Oklahoma offense, but now you're seeing Ramondre Stevenson and what he's able to do. A little spin move to work outside, and the strength and the stiff arm to close it out.
A little bit of tempo. As once again able to bounce it, find the hole, and make his way down to the 26-yard line. Todd Grantham, defensive coordinator. A lot of speculation about his job security. They gave up over 28 points per game, did Florida. That's the most they've given up in 74 years of this tradition-rich program. 2nd and 2. Rattler. And he will throw this away.
Pass is legal. Number 29 is in the area. 3rd down.
Yeah, and the frustration starting to boil over. You see Todd Grantham earlier on the sidelines getting in the face of his players, trying to ignite them, motivate them, and it's been a frustrating year for who I think is an outstanding defensive coordinator. Things haven't gone quite their way, and as he told me previously, there's a Gator standard here. It has to be a top 10 defense, and they've fallen far short throughout the course of the season.
3rd down and 2.
Loves to bring pressure in these type of situations.
Rattler, quick strike, and it's incomplete. It was off the hands of the freshman West.
I would imagine Lincoln Riley going to go for it here. No, he's going to elect to kick the field goal, get points, try to get points after the takeaway. It's a good job by the Florida defense after a couple of giving up a few big runs, bow their necks and come up with a stop, force this field goal attempt.
Now, Gabe Brkic is on course to set the Sooners' all-time mark for field goal percentage. He has made over 85% of his career field goals. 43-yard attempt for Brkic. Good lift and splits it. Don't blink. All of a sudden, it's 17-0. 2 picks thrown by Kyle Trask. And the Sooners having it their way early on here in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Through 5 all year. He's thrown 2 here in 2 possessions. Shorter thought about taking it out, and he does after hesitating. And he took a big hit in doing so, and a flag is down. Tony opting out for the NFL draft,
During
so Shorter's
return,
in action.
Personal foul. Illegal blindside block. Receiving team number 9. Half the distance from the goal from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
That kind of started.
Being able to play a bowl game, everyone gets to play. I hope everybody has bringing in the new year the right way with a win and bringing that trophy back to Gainesville. Go Gators.
Wishes for the top tight end prospect in the NFL draft.
Is in the area. 2nd down.
As Trask was dealing with more pressure and more disruption from his own end zone. That was LaRon Stokes coming in on him. Kyle Pitts, 12 touchdowns this year.
Like the cheat code, Joe.
And now Emory Jones comes in to play quarterback for Florida. A redshirt sophomore, very good runner. Came in early in the SEC championship game and had a design run. And that is what he will do here. And sparking things a bit is Emory Jones as he surges ahead for the 1st down for the Gators.
Love the quarterback counter when he's in the game. His vision, acceleration, elite as a runner, and likely the future quarterback for the Florida Gators. Adds an element that's so difficult to deal with as a defense.
This is now Davis. And Davis struggling to find much there with big Perion Winfrey and Brian Asamoah, who had the interception moments ago. Perion Winfrey has been a very good force on the interior of this Oklahoma defense. He was a highly recruited JUCO transfer.
disruptive, penetrator, key cog in the middle of that defense for defensive line coach Calvin Thibodeau, who's gotten this line to play at an extremely high level this year.
Davis with time on second down, a shot downfield, and it's complete. That is Trent Whittemore making the effort to the outside. The 6'4" redshirt freshman. Good body control there.
Back shoulder throw by Emory Jones. A nice adjustment on the football by Whittemore. Had a nice start to the season, was injured against Arkansas, broken rib, punctured lung. He's back, he's healthy, and a big play down the field.
25-yard reception for Whittemore. So the Heisman finalist comes out, the backup Emory Jones comes in, and all of a sudden Florida's finding a little bit of something. Malik Davis will cross midfield. Want to remind you, college football playoff semifinals coming your way New Year's Day on ESPN. Trask back in. 2nd and 6. And Trask will get it complete, and again it's Whittemore. So Jones comes in, runs for a first down, has the downfield completion. Trask now comes out as they're platooning on this drive and goes 22 yards to Whittemore. And now, interestingly, Anthony Richardson, number 2, the true freshman quarterback, is also in with Emory Jones. Could be a trick play scenario here, Dusty?
No question. They told us a little bit of a gadget. They showed it against Alabama and looked to feature it again once tonight. Maybe a double pass here.
So watch the slot near side for Anthony Richardson. They give the look of it, but instead a strike over the middle, and that was well defensed by Asamoah, who got his hand up in the passing lane.
Boy, Emory Jones fortunate not to have the 3rd interception here early in this game for Florida. Stares down his receiver, throws it right to Brian Asamoah, gets in the throwing lane and misses his 2nd interception of the night. Mistake by Emory Jones on first down.
And now Trask comes back in. 2nd and 10. One-man rush. Trask steps up in the pocket and will have the first down as he goes to Weston. Jamarcus Weston with his first catch. He's been playing special teams, but with Copeland and Tony and Grimes all out, you're going to see many of these young guys.
As you mentioned, Joe, stepping up in the pocket, that's what he does so well that translates to the next level. And against him, you don't need edge pressure. You need pressure right in the middle in his face. Nice job by Kyle Trask.
Good response drive by Florida here. Davis trying to find something. Instead, he sees David Ugwebu, a sophomore linebacker. He's got great athleticism. He comes up with the tackle.
Great size too, Joe. 6'4", 250 pounds. He was a at the line of scrimmage jack linebacker for them last year. That rush backer that they have, and moved to 2nd level, has really helped improve this defense.
2nd and 8. Trask. Wobbler to the end zone, and he throws his 3rd pick of the first quarter. Woody Washington swipes it.
The ruling on the field is the pass was intercepted in the end zone. The result of the play is a touchback. Timeout on the field.
The quarterback with the statistical superlatives that dazzled all year long. The guy who led the nation with 3 touchdown passes, framed against only 5 interceptions. Picked off again. Just when they were driving and hoping to find something, instead it's back to business with Stevenson and the Sooners.
Number 29 of the offense, helmet came off through play. He may not participate in the next down.
And it's
timeout for an injured player of the offense.
It was Nick Benito with an inside move who hit the arm of Kyle Trask. As you saw that hand, the ball come out of his hand funny, and he missed a wide open Jamarcus Weston in the end zone. The frustration mounts for the quarterback, Kyle Trask.
And right now, the medical team for Oklahoma is out on the field. They're looking at Marquise Haynes, the starting left guard. Let's go down to the field to Holly.
Well, guys, I've been observing Kyle Trask very closely after the interceptions. The first 2, you know, he kind of had a smile on his face like, oh, man, like what a way to start. He was really good natured about it, very even keeled. But after that third interception, he just came to the sideline and he is frustrated. He had a long conversation with Dan Mullen. You can tell he is just trying to get it back together right now. Keep in mind, it's been a very quick turnover, 10 days since they last played, with a completely new receiving core that he's having to work with tonight. A big turnaround for him. He's got to get it back together.
Timing is off, frustration is mounting, and you're exactly right, Holly. He's going to have to get his confidence back, and it's tough now in a hole 17-0, and he hasn't been here before. 3 interceptions early on in this first quarter, Joe.
Well, and doesn't have the key pieces to lean on. When you say timing, there's another side, the cohesive nature of timing. You got to have the guy you're used to throwing to, and his top 4 targets are out. Of course, number 1 Alabama, number 4 Notre Dame will be coming your way on New Year's Day. That is the Rose Bowl game presented by Capital One. It'll take place right here at AT&T Stadium. First time since 1942 that the Rose Bowl isn't in Pasadena. Who's missing for Florida? You take away all the weaponry and big targets. You got the first team All-America tight end. The guy will almost assuredly be the first tight end taken in the NFL drive, and Grimes and Copeland. And how about what Kadarius Toney turned into this year, Dusty?
He's been fantastic. He's the guy they move around to create the mismatches and matchups that they want. Get him the football in a variety of ways. Kyle Pitts, we talked about, at 6'6", his catch radius, and Brian Johnson had described him as a unicorn. Trayvon Grimes as well at 6'4", can flat out go up and get any 50-50 ball. Those pass catchers make Kyle Trask right even when he's wrong at times, and unfortunately he doesn't have them here this evening.
You know, and specifically Toney. Toney's a guy who's good with yards after the catch. Number 7 nationally in YAC, and Oklahoma top 10 in giving up yards after the catch. Marcus Major will go ahead for a first down. Major, the redshirt freshman from Millwood High School up in Oklahoma City.
This offensive line getting a lot of push at the line of scrimmage here early in this football game. Some easy big chunk runs early.
Rattler with time, looking over his options, and then tracked down, and the ball is out and is recovered by the Gators. And now Florida down 17, and they cash in as Trask quickly gets it that time to Shorter, and Shorter will have 9 yards on the catch. Big play by Bogle. See if he can spark things. Well, it's been a disastrous first quarter to this point for Florida.
Like the quarterback run game in spots like this with Trask.
2nd and 1. Wells orbit motion behind Trask here as they'll keep it on the ground with Wright. And Wright will move the chains for the Gators.
Kind of a 3-headed monster running back for Florida. You'll see Pierce, Malik Davis, and there's Naquan Wright. Smaller of the 3 backs. Really good quickness. And a little crease there off the left side to move the chains.
Naquan Wright went to Miami Carroll City High, 5'9", under 200-pounder. Trask. Good protection this time, and there is Gamble, the tight end, and Gamble will have a first down for Florida.
A lot of zone coverage being played right now by the Oklahoma Sooners, and you're seeing these Florida pass catchers just sitting down in the soft spots in the zone, and Kyle Trask locating his targets here on this drive.
13-yard catch by Gamble, so it's 1st and goal for the Gators. Trask. Inside screen Wells, and he makes his way to the 6-yard line. Pat Fields with the tackle. Rattler, first-year quarterback for Oklahoma, just fumbled it away. Florida desperate to get on the board here, try to find something early on. 3 interception first quarter for Trask. Now running it and finding Ronnie Perkins waiting on him.
Love quarterback run game in the red zone. Well defensed by the Oklahoma front, not giving an inch and changing the line of scrimmage. Nowhere for Trask to go with the football.
72% of their trips in the red zone have finished with touchdowns this season. 3rd down and goal. Trask is going to run it on 3rd and goal. didn't have a chance. Ugwoegbu came in darting against Kyle Trask.
Clearly 4-down territory. No, I guess not. They're going to kick the field goal.
What do you make of that play call there, Dusty?
Surprised. Back-to-back quarterback counters with Kyle Trask. I mean, it's a part of their offense, as we just mentioned, but you would feel like if you're going to run that on back-to-back plays, you're going to utilize 4 down. Surprised by the play calling from Dan Mullen. Very conservative with a senior quarterback.
Evan McPherson comes in for just a 21-yard attempt. And the goose egg is gone.
Last season and early on this season, they weren't creating those turnovers Alex Grinch wanted. They've been getting them lately, and obviously here tonight.
As McPherson boots it.
Foreign ball security, he's matured in that regard. Let's see how he responds after his first fumble.
There's Major, bounces to the outside, slips past the would-be tackler, breaks 2 more tackles. Good effort from Marcus Major.
Back to the bread and butter. Simple counter play. Pull backside guard and wing. Get out in front. And a nice piece of running the open field. Balance from the redshirt freshman Marcus Major.
Rattler, play action. Look at the time he has. He's going to take a shot downfield, wants all of it, and nearly gets it with Rambo. But play action is how Spencer Rattler likes to dial it up. He has 18 touchdown passes off of play action. That's #1 nationally. 17-3 Oklahoma. The defense doing their job with the 3 picks. A 2-touchdown lead for the Sooners here at the end of 1 in a Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. College football playoff games. This a game that you would think, Dusty, is critical when it comes to program perception. Rattler on 2nd down. Another shot downfield. And incomplete again, as Theo Weiss was the intended target. But in terms of program perception, and here you are against a Florida team where the roster's somewhat gutted. People are expecting you to go out and lay down the hammer.
That's exactly right. Look, this is a prime-time, out-of-conference matchup that Lincoln Riley told us himself is very important as we see the replay there. Jaden Hill getting that arm in, knocking it away on the deep shot. And here's the thing, Lincoln Riley 0-3 in the postseason. Now, that was playoff games, 0-3 against the SEC. They circled this game, and they made it an importance for a springboard opportunity in next season.
3rd down and 10. Flag is down as Rattler goes to the near side, incomplete to the left of Marvin Mims.
Offside in the neutral zone at the snap. Defense number 10. 5-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
Holly, we haven't seen Austin Stogner in a while, the very talented tight end. He's out there for Oklahoma now.
That's right. They didn't think he would play tonight after the most bizarre injury. He got hit in the quad against Kansas, and that quad then got infected. They said he had strep that went down into his quad. He had to have surgery to remove the infection. He was just out on the last play. That's a big get for him to be back.
3rd down and 5. Pressure on Rattler, and they're able to get to him. Bogle cleaned it up. Dante Lang came in.
And a botch protection off the left side. You're going to see Lang just come right here off the edge. And 77 Swinson, he bumps down inside. Nobody stays. He picks up the blitzer and leaves a man laying off the edge free. Spencer Rattler's going to have to identify that, see that. Nice job by Todd Grantham dialing it up and getting off the field on 3rd down.
That's Xavier Henderson, the freshman punt returner. New returners for Florida tonight with all the opt-outs. So he's put into action. He corrals the fair catch at about the 12-yard line. Glad you're with us here for the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Joe and Dusty upstairs, Holly Road down on the field. A reminder, when you tally everything up, I mean, we were putting together our boards in preparation for this game. You just red X's everywhere. You're replacing players. You got some scout teamers, some freshmen that haven't seen the field all of a sudden pressed into action. So they're at about 60 scholarship players, and top 4 pass catchers out of action for Florida. Trask. Too high that time for the intended target, Gamble, of course, one of those top 4 is his favorite target, Kyle Pitts. All right, Dusty, what's the answer here for this Florida offense?
They're going to have to get, I think, the ground game going. We haven't seen them run the football very effectively. I think if they can take some pressure off, get Oklahoma to load up to try to stop this run, will open up some things down the field for these inexperienced pass catchers.
2nd down and 10. Davis shifts back to flank Trask. Trask from inside his 5-yard line drives the ball, and it's incomplete. Gamble couldn't hold on to it. It'll be 3rd and 10. Gene Witter had coverage on Kamari Gamble.
The disparity in throwing and rushing yards this season for the Florida Gators, most prolific passing attack in all of college football.
3rd and 10. 4-man rush. Trask gets it complete, and right at that line to gain is Zipperer.
Excellent awareness of where he was on the field, makes the catch, gets north and south right now just enough to move the sticks and keep this drive alive. Strong hands going up and catching that football as well.
Boy, those strong hands of Pitts, though, are missed. I mean, what he did against Alabama, going for 122 yards, had the touchdown to pull them within a score. And once again, going to Zipperer, the tight end. It looks like he's going to try to lean on Gamble and Zipperer a bit here. I think all the production that isn't here for Trask, and that's why Mullen said, hey, I just love his attitude this week. I love his approach and his competitive spirit of knowing what he's in store for, wants to play ball, wants to get out there and take on this challenge against Oklahoma. Greatly improved defense over the past year. 2nd and 6 to the outside, and he connects with Malik Davis. And now finding a rhythm. Reminder, Monday, January 11th at 8 Eastern on ESPN. It will be the College Football Playoff National Championship presented by AT&T. Bama and Notre Dame, Clemson and Ohio State. Then we will get to the 2 on Monday the 11th. Emory Jones in at quarterback. All 3 quarterbacks have been on the field already. Swing pass out of the backfield, Pierce. Pierce utilizing the blocks well, and Pierce takes it past midfield for the Gators.
Goes down as a pass, but that's just an extension of the run, getting their running backs out in space, forcing Oklahoma to tackle on the perimeter, on the edges. Nice play call by Dan Mullen, good blocking on the edge, and a quality pickup by Dameon Pierce.
Jones remains in at quarterback. Pierce, nothing happening there at all. Corey Roberson with the tackle. Right on it.
They do so much movement at the line of scrimmage. You know, twist games and really make the offensive lines work. There, Corey Roberson fitting over the top of the defensive tackle. He frees up, and a nice tackle for loss.
2nd and 11.
Quarterback run game when they go empty.
Let's see if that's the case here with Emory Jones. Very talented runner, and that is what he does. Finds a seam, and he works his way inside the 40-yard line. Total change of pace quarterback. And they have packages for him, specifically for him, all year long. And Dusty, this is a guy that everybody was in on. He was a big recruit when he came out of Heard County High School. Ohio State was in on him, Auburn, Bama, Florida State. And he headed to Florida. Many thought he would be the future of the program. But as Trask did himself waiting his turn, now Jones does the same.
Puts an immense amount of pressure on the defense with his explosiveness as a runner.
3rd and 3. Jones running again, well blocked. As you saw, he had big Stuart Reese, the 350-pounder, paving the way for him. And it's a 1st down with a 7-yard run from Emory Jones.
Well, you're exactly right. Stuart Reese gets up on a linebacker, Aguebu, and he helps pave the path for yet another 1st down.
How'd you like to see 6'6", 350 pulling right at
That's a big man, Joe. That's a big man.
Jones. And he's able to get this ball complete to Rick Wells. 17-3 Oklahoma. 3 interceptions thrown by the Heisman finalist Kyle Trask. 1 returned for a pick six. This Oklahoma defense, they've been doing their jobs. You think about over the past 4 games, they've held their opponents to a combined 57 points. Florida sitting here with 3. Fake the run, passes it downfield to the end zone, and Jones took a big hit as he was looking for Xavier Henderson downfield. It was Ronnie Perkins coming in on Jones, Dusty.
Yeah, nice inside move by Ronnie Perkins. Makes a big hit on Emory Jones. They faked the quarterback run game. He wanted to take his shot in the end zone, and he paid the price. Ronnie Perkins, one of our impact players to start the game, with a big shot.
3rd down and 5.
Playbook's wide open here. You can go quarterback run game. And Malik Davis in the backfield, excellent pass catcher as a running back. You see him split out. They love to throw him the football.
4-man rush against Jones with time, and it's a 1st down for Florida and something extra for Xavier Henderson, the younger brother of the recent Gator star cornerback C.J. Henderson, who was a top 10 NFL draft pick.
And maybe an image of the future with Emory Jones throwing the football to the true freshman Xavier Henderson. Nice job getting open and a very confident throw from Emory Jones. All of a sudden, a quality drive here by the Gators, Jim.
Yeah, that is keeping Spencer Rattler, who you just saw, anxious and on the sideline, which is just what they need. Jones wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage that time by Nick Bonito, who chops him down. You see Kyle Trask supporting Jones as they convert and move the chains there. He's had a great attitude. Jones and Richardson, the 3rd string quarterback, in now for Florida. We saw this earlier. There is the freshman quarterback, big recruit himself, and a timeout is going to be used by Oklahoma. Florida on the go. See what they can come up with when we come back to the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Daniels at quarterback. And right now it's Emory Jones at quarterback. 14th play of this drive. Rick Wells inside the 10. And it'll be 1st and goal Gators. So this is the kind of drive they've been looking for. 5.5 minutes, 15 plays coming up, and in action to score.
Well, watch this right here. Watch the big guys. Garage getting out front. Heggie getting out front. Wide receiver screen, but it's the big guys securing the blocks and setting up the big play.
Jones, 1st and goal to the end zone. Threw it to the inside and behind Henderson.
And the point you made is this drive, obviously effective, hopefully for Florida can result in points, but it's keeping Spencer Rattler and that Oklahoma offense on the sidelines, allowing Todd Grantham's defense to get rest, get together, and when they take the field, try to get another stop. Key here that Florida can punch it in for 6. I'd expect quarterback run game with Emory Jones in the game.
That's what you get on 2nd and goal, and with it, a Gators touchdown. Get used to Emory Jones doing that, Florida fans. This is a team with a lot of young talent, and he's expected to lead the way in the coming years.
Brawls going on, jumping in the stands. And a crazy year all the way around.
Here's Rambo on the return as the coverage unit keeps him just short of that 20-yard line. They used 6 minutes of clock there, so Rattler and company weren't in action. And now back to Ramondre Stevenson. Holly.
You talked about the hard work Emory Jones did on that lengthy drive, and guys, he did a lot. He actually lost his lunch after that was seen to by the athletic trainers. He's working hard over there.
Short pitch, Stevenson on 2nd and 6, and it'll be 3rd and a long one. Oh, it's a fumble. Florida came up with the ball. Florida came away with it. Let's take a look here, see what we got.
Out.
Comes in off of the fumble recovery, and Pierce will take it ahead. And now Florida energized as Pierce goes ahead for 11 yards. Chance to tie this. This thing looked like it was going sideways. And now Florida with a chance to tie it up here in the 2nd quarter.
Starting to run the football more effectively. Outstanding vision and cutback for a nice pickup.
Kyle Trask, play action, quick out as he goes to Jaquavian Frazier, the freshman. You know, Frazier, another one of these guys that's brought up. Haven't seen him all year long, but with Tony and Grimes and Copeland out, he's getting playing time.
Good route, good timing. Kyle Trask to the freshman Fraziers. His offense all of a sudden got a little rhythm.
Just for 4 yards there. Second and 6. Trask looking over options, and then he's taken down. And it was Isaiah Thomas with his 9th sack of the season. Bonita also getting in there.
But it's outstanding coverage down the field. Kyle Trask goes through all of his progressions. Nobody comes open. He can't locate an open receiver. And as you mentioned, Isaiah Thomas, he's been so key to this defense. The MVP, him and Nick Bonito with a big play.
3rd down and 9. After the fumble recovery, what can they do with it? Trask backpedaling and throws it short and low and incomplete, looking for Gamble. Once again, pressure being applied by Ronnie Perkins.
It's Ronnie Perkins, it's Nick Bonito. It's two of the best guys that they have. You'll see him come off the edge here. Ronnie Perkins unblocked, nice stiff arm. Nick Bonito in his face. A nice stop for Alex Grinch's defense.
So Evan McPherson trots out there. Currently #1 all-time in SEC history in field goal percentage at 86% made. This a 35-yard attempt. And they take the fumble recovery. A little something. Defense doing their job, and the offense getting on the board. And this is Rambo from the goal line. And Rambo with a good return as he turns the corner and out near the 40-yard line.
They've responded to their defensive coordinator.
See what they can do here as he goes to Seth McGowan. McGowan's got plenty of green space ahead of him as he goes past midfield. Steiner finally forces him out. So for Spencer Rattler, that is his first completion since the first drive of the game.
It's an excellent setup to McGowan out in the flats, man-to-man coverage. Linebacker couldn't go over the top in a big pickup.
Rattler trying to extend the play as he's being chased down and then taken down. Now they go their last 3 drives of fumble, punt, fumble. Just saw Lloyd Summerall racing down Spencer Rattler.
Pass rush starting to get home. It was Chris Bogle with the pressure from one side, flushing Rattler out, and then Summerall with excellent speed chasing Rattler out to the sidelines. Pass rush starting to pick up for Florida.
Second and 14 as he goes quickly to Stoops. Ball is out and Stoops was able to fall on it. Drake Stoops, the 5'9", 190-pound sophomore, the son of the legendary coach Bob Stoops. Young man who had one of the most memorable moments of the season, the game-winning touchdown catch in the Red River rivalry game.
Well, it's an excellent adjustment on the football, reaching out behind him and catching the ball. And James Houston rips that ball out. And Drake Stoops smartly jumps on top to avoid yet a third first-half fumble.
3rd down and 4. Pressure up the middle. They pick it up. Shallow cross. This is Weiss and Theo Weiss inside the 10. And the Sooners come right back with that 36-yard touchdown. Theo Weiss. Second touchdown of this Cotton Bowl for Spencer Rattler. It's an 11-point game. Short will let it go into the... Here's Trask, national leader in touchdown passes as he'll check down to Wright. And Wright will take that 9 yards. There is Emory Jones. Jones has 31 yards rushing, and the touchdown run for the Gators. Second and 1. And Wright, good burst of speed. Naquan Wright, past midfield for the Gators. As now they're looking to respond here. 26 yards from Wright.
The vision from Naquan Wright. He sees this hole open up, accelerates through, and a big pickup. The second quarter, the ability for Florida to establish the line of scrimmage and run the football has really helped keep them in this ball game.
Here's Trask on first down. And that was batted away. Good work from DJ Graham, the true freshman corner. Remember, Trey Brown, their star cornerback, opted out early. He announced that he would forego this game 2 days after the Big 12 championship. So an opportunity for DJ Graham to show his stuff.
Good length, athletic, true freshman with huge upside, outstanding play on first down.
Second down toss, in cut, incomplete. Rick Wells couldn't secure it. Bradley Hiles on the coverage. It'll be 3rd and 10.
See what Alex Grinch wants to do here. 3rd and long situation. Doesn't want to bring added pressure. Guessing he's just going to rush forward and drop 7 into coverage.
Third down and 10. That is incomplete when he had a wide open Zipperer who couldn't come up with the catch.
Unfortunate there, Joe. Excellent read by Kyle Trask. Got exactly what he wanted on the post. Ball is out of his hand as Zipperer's making his break, and he just drops it.
And this is going to be a monstrous field goal attempt from McPherson. They are spotting this to what would be a 58-yarder. He's got a career-long 55-yarder. He has 5 career 50-plus yarders made. McPherson from 58. And it comes up short.
Hit the pressure on Mac Jones needed to slow down that offensive passing attack.
There's Bridges trying to spin free. Trajan Bridges, the sophomore who was suspended for the regular season, then finally cleared to play in the Big 12 championship. 2.5 minutes to go here. A strange first half. Had Oklahoma come out, burst out 17-0. Trask with the 3 interceptions, and then Florida comes back, gets themselves in position, and then Rattler moments ago to Weiss, and now can he find something before halftime? They're already past midfield with Bridges.
RPO, get those second-level linebackers up. Middle of the field is wide open. And Trajan Bridges, you just mentioned, back in the Big 12 championship game, might be the most talented of all the Oklahoma wide receivers. A couple of grabs here late in the first half.
Big statement when you consider the year that Mims had, but that is how he is viewed. After the 20-yard completion to Bridges. First down now, and they'll keep it on the ground with Stevenson. And Stevenson, nice spin move against Elam on the outside. Brad Stewart was able to make the tackle. 4 yards for Stevenson.
Oklahoma going to put their foot on the gas. Hurry up. Get this play off.
Rattler. Second down, drifting back, lofts it downfield, had a man wide open. As you can see, Charleston Rambo stumbling to the ground, knowing it was a missed opportunity.
Just overshot Charleston Rambo. Spencer Rattler puts a lot of air underneath that football, tried to allow the speedster to run underneath it just a little bit too far. Austin Stogner in the game now.
Stogner, the big 6'6" tight end.
Third down weapon when he was healthy.
They're showing edge pressure. And there was some movement.
Offense, number 52, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
It's Marvin Mims. Not the typical night we have seen out of him this year. Did have the one catch early on that got them on the board, but then he's been quiet since. Third down and 11. Stevenson on the ground on 3rd and 11, and he's going to go for 11 and a half. 2 timeouts remaining. First down stops it with 1:07 as Lincoln Riley plots things out here. Rattler on first down, being chased. Bogle stumbling to try to get to him, and Rattler will tuck and run and be right at that line to gain, out of bounds, stopping the clock with 51 ticks before halftime.
Smart play by Spencer Rattler. Chris Bogle, he's working on true freshman Anton Harrison off the left side. He's starting to come clean, but no pressure from the other side. No one keeping contained. Good coverage down the field, and Rattler, nice pickup, and he gets out of bounds.
Stevenson shifts out. He looks that way, comes back to the middle, and in doing so, finds a wide open Austin Stogner. A flag is down. Well mapped out play by the Sooners, and we'll check on the flag here. We've got a Pac-12 crew leading the way tonight. Chris Coit is the referee.
Illegal substitution, defense, 12 players on the field. The penalties declined. The result of the play is a first down.
The result of the play is a 12-yard reception by Stogner. And now Todd Grantham, you see him looking on concerned. His defense met the challenge when he got in their faces earlier tonight. But right here towards the end of this second quarter, Rattler and the Sooners are getting going. Can they cap it now? 1st and goal.
An area where Jeremiah Hall, a big weapon for this Oklahoma offense in the red zone.
Stevenson. Blockers in front. Stevenson down to the 1-yard line. He had some Mack trucks plowing the way there, and then Bernie was able to get to him.
It's that counter once again, bread and butter. Hayes, Harrison out in front.
Quick to the line, 2nd and goal. Rattler pulls it, spins his way in. Spencer Rattler. An offense that came out so hot. Then all of a sudden, they struggled after that first drive. And now here before halftime, Rattler has put them into gear in the first half. Shorter put into duty as a kickoff return man tonight. And the coverage unit able to get to him.
The growth and maturity that we've seen from Spencer Rattler this year, extremely impressive for the freshman quarterback.
Pierce will be taken down here in the final seconds of this first half. What a wild first half, wasn't it? Whew. Oklahoma scores the first 17 points. Florida scores the next 13 points, and the way they do it too. I mean, they're platooning quarterbacks. We had Trask and Jones coming in and out on the very same drive. Flag is down here with a second left on that.
After the play ended, personal foul, offense, number 72, half the distance to the goal, 2nd down.
Florida comes back to get to 13 points. We saw Emory Jones do it with the long, sustained drive. 13, where you feel like Florida's tightening down defensively to having a deal with Oklahoma, and this is what the flag came in for.
The sportsmanship there by Dameon Pierce. Forsythe got hit with the personal foul.
Dan Mullen having an exchange with this Pac-12 crew.
He's pleading his case.
First time he's ever coached here at AT&T Stadium.
Okay. Because the foul occurred with under a minute and the game clock running, it's subject to a 10-second subtraction. Please reset the game clock to 0. That's the end of the half.
Double zeros on the board here at the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Spencer Rattler, 2 touchdown passes, the touchdown run. Nightmare first quarter for Kyle Trask, throwing 3 interceptions. And the Sooners, the Big 12 champs, up 31-13 as we come to halftime here at the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic.
Things went according to plan for Lincoln Riley in the first half against the Gators.
Well, the Gators off
is extremely important that Florida has some production.
Trask, sprint right, shows the arm to the outside, diving effort from Rick Wells. Holly.
Guys, obviously the first half didn't go how Kyle Trask would have liked. But keep in mind, after that SEC championship game, they let their kids go home for Christmas. When they came back, they've only had 3 practices together as a unit with this new wide receiving group and all these new pieces around Kyle Trask. That's a big reason they're trying to settle in and get that timing right here in this game.
The timing critical. He connects for 12 yards there, then lofts it, and that could have been intercepted. Woody Washington made a play on the ball and then was falling on his backside as he had a chance for an interception.
Extremely well played by the redshirt freshman Woody Washington. He plays the running back in the flats, continues to get depth, makes an athletic play, reaching up, deflecting the pass, and almost coming down with his 2nd interception of the night.
2nd and 10. Trask is going to check down to Pierce, and Pierce is forced out at about the 39-yard line by Asamoah. Wow. See what Florida's been able to do in the 3rd quarter of games this season. And scoring opponents 124-41. Find themselves with a 3rd and 8 against this vastly improved Oklahoma defense. 3rd and 8 for Trask. 4-man rush, brings it back down, launches downfield, and incomplete. No flag as he was trying to get it to Justin Shorter. Top 4 targets not in action tonight for Kyle Trask.
Kyle Trask wanted to take his shot. He had the 6'5" wide receiver. Shorter's got good position on the football. A little bit of a push there by Trey Norwood as Shorter goes up to get the football, unable to bring it in. This opening drive comes up empty for the Gators.
Jacob Finn on to punt away. Senior from the Paxson School in Jacksonville, Florida. His first season as the starting punter. And the Townsend brothers for so long. Flag is down all the way back. And that'll be a delay of game.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
As they'll back up Finn. Headsets on for Trask. Spectacular through 11 games. 8th highest total of touchdown passes in 11 games in FBS history. And then what has been a struggle so far tonight. On January 5th, we will have the virtual ceremony of the Heisman Trophy. Chris Fowler will lead the way. Devontae Smith, the outstanding receiver, is right now the odds-on favorite to take the 25 pounds of bronze. Had a visit with Devontae today as we're preparing for the broadcast on Friday. It's interesting to hear Mac Jones and Devontae go back and forth as they get ready to be on this field for the college football playoff semifinals. Number 1 Alabama taking on number 4 Notre Dame in the Rose Bowl game presented by Capital One, coming your way 4 p.m. Eastern on New Year's Day. Stevenson patiently utilizing the blocks out to the 12-yard line.
Well, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. They continue to run the counter in these staple runs so far offensive lineman getting out in front, patience from Ramondre Stevenson, a nice pickup on first down.
Play action now on 2nd and 4, and Stoops with the reception and a chain mover for the Sooners. And you hear the Stoops from the fans who have made the drive down. 18,000 allowed with the COVID restrictions here at AT&T Stadium.
Spencer Rattler, so effective and accurate on the move, under pressure, puts that ball out in front where only his receiver can make a play on the football. Well done.
11-yard reception by Drake Stoops. Stevenson already over 100 yards today. He'll be adding to that total as he is out to the 31-yard line. Well, Saturday at 4 Eastern, number 25 Oregon taking on number 10 Iowa State in the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. And then an interesting one in the Capital One Orange Bowl. Texas A&M, 5th-ranked team. A lot of people thought perhaps they should have got that 4 spot against UNC. Mac Brown and the Tar Heels in the Capital One Orange Bowl at Hard Rock Stadium.
A couple of good matchups there. Can't wait for these games to happen. It's going to be fun.
2nd and 3, and just a yard that time as Hopper makes the tackle of Stevenson. Tyron Hopper, another one of these younger players, got a lot of redshirt freshmen, a lot of freshmen throughout the defensive 2 deep for Florida. You know all about the headlines that the great pass catchers, right? The guys that you're familiar seeing are opted out, not playing for Florida, be it Grimes or Tony or Kyle Pitts getting ready for the NFL. But you look throughout that defensive 2 deep and you see a lot of names that we're not used to when we call a Florida game. 3rd down and 2. Rattler fading back to his own 20 and somehow getting it downfield, but it's incomplete. Stevenson had to wait for it as Carter was coming after Rattler, and they'll be punting away on 4th down. Comes in to play quarterback again for the Gators. Had the long drive and the touchdown run earlier. Naquan Wright with a burst off the right side. Flag is down, and then you see the numbers tonight. You go from those school records, Dusty, to circle those 3
There is no foul
interceptions.
on the play. The contact was ruled illegal. The result of the play is a 1st down.
19-yard run by Wright.
And it's a combination of 2 things, right? Clearly, no Kyle Pitts, no Trayvon Grimes, no Kadarius Toney. I mean, those are all 3 NFL caliber players who have helped aid him in getting those yards. But you also have to give credit to this Oklahoma defense. They have stepped up, they have made plays and made life difficult on Kyle Trask here tonight.
3rd time tonight we have seen the 3rd-string quarterback come onto the field with Jones. Jones runs it himself and goes for a couple of yards there. So Anthony Richardson
was down prior to the fumble. 2nd down.
has come onto the field. Now he sprints off. He's the freshman from back home in Gainesville, was a superstar at Eastside High School.
Got to think that there's something in tow, right? Later on throughout the course of this game, a double pass, some type of gadget play with both of those guys in the game.
2nd and 8. Jones had a defender going up right in that passing lane as he was trying to get it to Zipperer.
And that's the length of David Ugwoegbu and what he's able to do. That 2nd level, they bring him on the blitz, and he's got that big, those long arms, that big wingspan, gets in the vision of Emory Jones.
3rd down and 8. Defense that has been so salty during the 7-game win streak. And Wright can't find anything at all. David Ugwoegbu.
We just talked about David Ugwoegbu and his length. And he's got the running back, and you see him run and blow up Rick Wells. Fights through the block and gets the TFL on 3rd down. A couple of nice back-to-back plays by the linebacker.
Jeremy Crawshaw is the new punter for Florida. 6'4" freshman from Australia. As Mims, the return man, calling from the fair catch at about the 11-yard line. Scholarship players for Florida, and really missing a lot when it comes to the offensive playmakers. Rattler. Out of the backfield is McGowan, and McGowan is tracked down from Amari Burney. All right, so in terms of opting playoff, because as we'll get to this play here with McGowan as he breaks a big one. Seth McGowan. Can they track him down? Finally they do near the 10. Donovan Steiner, and a flag is down.
I think a horse collar there at the end, Joe.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense number 13. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
73-yard run by McGowan.
And it's outstanding blocking on the edge. You see big 59, Adrian Ely, Creed Humphrey, Tyrese Robinson all help secure blocks and open up a big 73-yard run for Seth McGowan. Rushing attack of Oklahoma, I think really been the story offensively. Their ability to win the line of scrimmage and run the ball at will has been really impressive against this Gator defense.
First and goal. And Stevenson in as the back next to Rattler. Rattler pulls it, had a man right in his face. We don't do bounce passes in this game, Mr. Mims.
Forward and incomplete, second down.
That is incomplete as Brenton Cox was right in the face of Rattler. 73-yarder by Seth McGowan, who's from right nearby in Dallas. Was a sensation at Mesquite Petit, went for over 3,700 yards, 45 touchdowns as a star high school player in DFW area before he went to OU.
Extremely talented. He was a big key factor before Mondre Stevenson got back with this ball club and making his impact felt here tonight, both on the ground and catching the ball.
Second and goal. Stevenson to the edge, into the end zone. Flag is down back at the 5-yard line.
Holding, offense, number 52, 10-yard penalty, replay second down.
They're going to walk it back. That's Tyrese Robinson, the right guard.
He was trying to plead his case, but to no avail from the official.
All in Stevenson in the backfield here. It's second and goal all the way back to the 15-yard line. And going back inside the 5 to Jeremiah Hall. And it'll be third and goal.
That's what gets set up when you run the football so effectively. Play action pass, and that's Jeremiah Hall, who's the H-back. He's a fullback, fakes the block on the linebacker, comes wide open in the middle of the field, and Spencer Rattler locates his target.
Is there a Dimitri Flowers type? They've often utilized that kind of player in that position. Third and goal for Oklahoma. Rattler looking left, batted and incomplete. Bogle got up and denied it. Nobody opts out of the playoffs. So sort of forces your hand as to where college football is right now, that if you expand the playoffs, you're going to get more participation. But here's the problem. Listen, I love
today, once they're out of a season, once they have no chance to compete for a championship of any kind, we're seeing players opt out.
Emory Jones, first down, a little bit of pressure, goes downfield and off the fingertips of Justin Shorter.
Now, the one question I would have, and I thought Dan Mullen, we asked him about this a couple of days ago, was a great point he made. Is this because of COVID this year? Because it is so different. These aren't real, similar bowls where you're going in and you're spending a week in a city and you're getting gifts and all the things that come with a bowl game. Is this a COVID year we're seeing all the opt-outs, or is this a sign of things to come? Time will tell.
Davis breaking tackles and getting free. Malik Davis with a strong run there for the Gators. Holly, you had the chance to spend some time with the Gators AD Scott Strickland. What did he say about this?
That's right. And keep in mind, he's just rotating off of the College Football Playoff Committee. And he said, we have got to add value back into the postseason that goes beyond just the college football playoffs. So I think that was a great point by A.D. Strickland. Both he and Joe Castiglione of Oklahoma are just rotating off their turn.
There's Jones, and Jones making the most of it for a few yards. There's Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, here to see the team that gave such a great fight in that championship game against Alabama. Of course, Greg has been an outstanding leader in the sport this year when the sport has needed to have strong leadership, and you know he would be at the forefront of many of the discussions when it comes to potential playoff expansion and how the sport will move forward. Keep in mind, going to be major changes affecting the sport with name, image, and likeness. So when you talk about incentivizing things, incentivizing a postseason, that could come into play.
That should help, right? I mean, that should be a key component that's going to help guys continue to stay invested. You know, I've heard all kinds of things. Maybe bowls, you know, they start to be able to pay players to play in their bowl games. You know,
marketing opportunities, right?
Exactly, marketing opportunities
party.
with name, image, and likeness, and maybe that's something that continues to keep guys invested and wanting to show up and play.
Well, this Florida team, a roster hollowed out without their 4 top pass catchers. 3rd down and 6 for Jones, and that was low and incomplete. A little bit of traffic up front with Nick Bonito for the Sooners playing that rush end position, as Gamble was the intended target for Emory Jones.
Nick Bonito has really been going to work on Stone Forsyth on the left side of the Florida offensive line. A lot of inside moves, getting that pressure right in the quarterback's face. Really nice job here tonight by number 11, second-team AP All-American. He's been their best edge rusher all season, and he's shown up often here in the Cotton Bowl.
Jacob Finn, nose down punt, end over end, fair catch. Mims at the 12-yard line. Thing stays the same in college football, right? You know, always railing on the Big 12 defense. They don't play defense, and now all of a sudden they're second in yards allowed, seeing better defense, Oklahoma specifically. And then the SEC, where now the offenses have changed a little bit in the SEC, and now the defensive numbers aren't quite as good in the SEC.
I like that word there, juxtaposition. It's fascinating, isn't it, Joe? Because it used to be there's no defense in the Big 12.
Stevenson breaks free, and here goes Ramondre Stevenson. We saw McGowan go for 73 yards moments ago, and now Ramondre Stevenson, the big back at nearly 250 pounds, he goes for 49 yards here.
Sooners continue to gash Florida on the ground. Bill Bedenbaugh, offensive line coach, is going to be very happy. Excellent job by Hayes kicking out, as well as Anton Harrison. Big gaping hole for Ramondre Stevenson.
He's got 161 yards tonight. Pressure off the edge, could be offside here, so a free shot for Rattler as it goes beyond Mims. Saw the flag there.
Offside in the neutral zone at the snap. Defense number 15. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
You know, previously everybody just pointed to the Big 12 played no defense. They didn't acknowledge the offensive minds, quarterback play, how good the offenses were. But it's fascinating now in the SEC, and they've got fantastic defensive personnel. But look at the offensive coaching staffs that are now in the SEC. Look at the personnel, the quarterback play. It's leveled up. We don't hear that it's bad defense. We hear it's just good offense. It's interesting, the dichotomy between the two leagues and how we view them and how we talk about, is it bad defense or is it good offense? And I thought Nick Saban had the best point earlier this season. And he said college football has changed. You no longer win with great defense because good offense beats good defense.
Isn't it fascinating too, just you think about why is Nick Saban a great coach? The ability to adapt, and this is a year about adapting. Rattler, he gets free and he'll run for a first down. Holly, you and I were on a call with Coach Saban earlier today, and he talked about adapting. He was talking about recruiting, but that was a big part of his theme as to why he feels his program is at success this year, the ability to adapt.
Well, that's right. It's because they signed the top recruiting class in the country, and he said he had to adapt with different Zoom calls and how to communicate players during a pandemic. He said, I've talked to more kids than I ever have before, but he had the quote of 2020 in my mind. Adapt or die. The dinosaurs didn't adapt, and we don't see them anymore. Nick Saban, thank you for that gem.
We will see Coach Saban right here on this field come New Year's Day against Notre Dame. Marcus Major with the carry here as he gets to the 15-yard line. Of course, number 1 Alabama, number 4 Notre Dame. It is a Rose Bowl game presented by Capital One at 4 Eastern. Middle of that Florida defense, they don't have Marlon Dunlap and Kyrie Campbell. And some young guys rotating in with that defensive line there. 2nd and 2. Stevenson to the outside. The block from Stogner pushes ahead, kept his balance, dances his way in. Every which way. Ramondre Stevenson. Tiny steps, big gains, big score.
Big body, tough runner, and you're not going to bring him down with arm tackles. Looks like a tired Gator defense here in the second half as they continue to go back to the well.
Looked like the ladder drill here, Dusty.
Oh, no question. Watch the footwork, the determination, and nobody gets a good shot on him as he hits the brakes. They fly right by, and he keeps working his way into the end zone. What a night for Ramondre Stevenson.
And those are the kind of plays where you appreciate. Yeah, I know 6 foot.
Oklahoma rushing attack. Just running the ball at will on Florida here throughout this game.
Right on the return. Chance to go down and visit with Holly.
This season, he's definitely made a mark.
17 attempts for 179 yards tonight. Pierce breaks the first tackle, breaks the second tackle before he is knocked out of bounds. You really consider a flag is down on that near side, but you consider who wasn't around early on. The key suspensions, you know, Stevenson.
After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, defense number 88. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
You see what Stevenson can do. You see how valuable he is. And then on the other side, defensively, I mean, Ronnie Perkins, headline maker. Imagine if they had the full roster earlier this season. If there was an understanding and a normal start to the year, what could have been for this Oklahoma team.
And there's a lot of people that think the way that they played at the end of the year, one of the best 4 teams in college football. So it's a great point you make. You could argue those are the 2 best players offensively and defensively on this Oklahoma football team. And once they got those guys back, they have been at a different level as a team and just clearly impact every piece of this Oklahoma football team.
You tell me, my man. You tell me. Listen, I understand the 2 losses earlier, but in terms of how this team's playing, what you would want to see on the field, this team among those 4, roll the dice, see how it would be, what it would look like.
I mean, yeah, but I hear what you're saying, and this is why I would like to see
I didn't say they earned it.
I'm just saying, but then you look at a Texas A&M team,
right?
You know what I mean, who put together a quality 8-1 season, an all-SEC schedule, beat this Florida Gator team when they were at full strength earlier in the season. So that gets dicey and tough. Do I think Oklahoma could compete with Notre Dame, potentially beat them? Absolutely, but you know, what you did on the field and what your resume is, I think that has to matter.
There's no doubt. Hey, I'm not making the argument for it. I'm just saying the way this team's playing right now, how much would you like to see them get a shot?
No doubt.
And then we get back to that old expansion conversation, don't we? What would happen if we were at 8? What would happen if we were at 6? And a team like this that's playing better ball as the year goes on gets their at-bat.
And I'd like, if you win your conference championship, you get an opportunity to compete for the national championship, right? I mean, I think that's another way to, you know, make the conference championship games matter that much more. 4th down and 1, and Jones will have it and a lot more as he strides his way inside the 20-yard line. Gives a little something Pat Fields, the safety. And Emory Jones running the football has been one of the most effective aspects of this Gator offense here tonight. Quality hole off the right side. You see the acceleration from Emory Jones. Richardson in the game as well. We've seen this personnel group multiple times with both quarterbacks. You see number 2 out there to the top of your screen.
30 seconds.
A little bit of rivalry. It's going to be fun. Here's Jones on 1st down as Davis gets it out of the backfield, spins his way inside the 10. Now, there was news today
concerning that game, the college football playoff semifinal that we'll see at the All-State Sugar Bowl, and that's that Clemson will be without their play caller. Tony Elliott, longtime offensive coordinator, he tested positive for COVID-19. How much does that concern you?
I mean, it has to concern you quite a bit. I mean, he's done an excellent job calling the plays, but as long as Trevor Lawrence is still there, Joe, I think that offense is going to function just fine.
Davis right at that line to gain before he was tackled by John Michael Terry. Elliott's been the play caller for 6 years with Clemson, but they won't have him available come Friday against Ohio State. Of course, Ohio State trying to avenge things from a year ago in the postseason. That has been a great source of motivation. Jones, design quarterback run, cannot spin away from Ronnie Perkins. The athleticism and pursuit of Perkins, and Jones had no chance.
Well, it's about pad leverage, and he's going to split a double team. Watch him work right here. He's going to split this double team, square back up, and make this play. Splits the double team, knocks off the puller, and makes the play. That's a quality individual effort by Ronnie Perkins.
The end of the third quarter.
Oklahoma, 3 straight college football playoff appearances that look nothing like this. Get their chance to come out here and make a statement as to where they are and where they're headed. We're headed to the fourth quarter, and it's all Sooners.
What's a contrasted mindset on the various sidelines here tonight? You see Lincoln Riley laser focused with his players, and Florida kind of aimlessly walking down the field, getting ready to start this fourth quarter. We'll see if they can punch it in.
Emory Jones, future of the program at quarterback, redshirt sophomore from Georgia. Running option here on the pitch to Pierce, and Pierce is met and sent out of bounds. DJ Graham coming from that corner spot.
A physical football game for this Oklahoma defense here so far, as they have lived up to the billing. We talked in the onset about the improvements made on that side of the ball. It's come to fruition here tonight.
What a change from recent years. 3rd and goal. Jones with time goes underneath. A flag is down as Pat Fields came in hard that time on Naquan Wright. And Perry, they did pick up this flag for targeting.
They did. They got to get all 3 of the categories to enforce that targeting issue. And in my opinion, it's a good pickup. I just don't see it as a complete lower lead aim attack with the crown of the helmet.
Here's a 4th and goal now for the Gators. Jones, and taken down was Wells by Asamoah. He had an interception earlier, and he comes up with the tackle there on 4th and goal.
Instinctive play by Brian Asamoah, athleticism, twitchiness, and the Oklahoma defense bows its neck and keeps Florida out of the end zone once again.
The New Year's 6 bowls, and what a start it was for Oklahoma's defense with 3 interceptions of Heisman finalist Kyle Trask in the first quarter. Now, Dusty, Kyle Trask without a touchdown pass. He's without a touchdown pass in a start for the first time in his career. Wow. And he's had at least 2 passing touchdowns in all but 1 of his career starts before today. Stevenson, he has had a huge night running the ball for Oklahoma. But Trask sitting there, and you think about it, he's just not used to these kind of evenings.
It doesn't happen, right? I mean, this guy was unbelievably prolific throughout the course of the season, clearly missing his weapons, but I think also this Oklahoma defense, as advertised, what Alex Grinch has done, the way these guys have played down the stretch, been extremely impressive to watch.
Rattler trying to connect with Weiss there with a touchdown pass earlier. You know, you mentioned Alex Grinch and this defense, what they were able to do to that guy there, Trask, as he's given away to Emory Jones, a quarterback for Florida. But Grinch was at Ohio State, comes over to Oklahoma, year 2 here, and they give up 346 yards per game. And you go back to 3 previous seasons, they were giving up on average 426 yards per game, and that's what killed them when they got to this stage of the season, to the postseason.
That's why I've been telling you guys, and I've heard several people, Kirk Herbstreit included, mention this is the most complete Oklahoma team we've seen in quite some time, and really sets up the prospects for next season to be one of the absolute best teams in college football.
Here's Seth McGowan. Remember, he went for 73 yards earlier, and now he gets this going. What an explosive playmaker they have in Seth McGowan, the freshman. And he comes up a little bit sore at the end of that run. Seth McGowan had a 73-yard run earlier, and here he goes for 48 yards on that play. And the 73-yarder he had earlier was the 4th longest rushing play that didn't result in a touchdown in Cotton Bowl history.
Watch Tyrese Robinson, 52, the big man, getting out in front, getting a block, and getting the safety, Steiner, on the ground. It's a quality run after the catch by Seth McGowan, but I like the big 335-pounder out in front.
Now here is into space with Theo Howard from Rattler. 8 20-plus yard plays for Oklahoma tonight. 8 plays over 20 yards.
Big play offense here tonight for the Sooners. A lot of these have been on the ground.
Did you just see that stat line, by the way? I mean, my man's touched the ball 4 times, and he's got 143 yards of offense.
Is that any good?
Pretty good. Second and 5.
Likely be the feature back next season.
Rattler able to escape, and Rattler will have the first down, and a heck of a lot more as Rattler then glides down at about the 12-yard line. He is fired up. As you see his parents, Susan and Michael, it's his sister Olivia there. Big things ahead for Spencer Rattler. This is going to be one of the it teams going into next year. NFL Wildcard Weekend's coming your way January 9th and 10th. And we got the MegaCast on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ABC. Of course, the matchup, the date, the time to be determined after the Week 17 games. Looking forward to that. First down run. Marcus Major, and he can't get loose as Amari Burney makes the tackle.
You mentioned Oklahoma talking about the prospects in the next season. Lincoln Riley himself said tonight is a night for building momentum in the next season. He even told us they got a chance to be really good. Talking about that defense, likely at least 10 of those starters that we've seen tonight back next year for this Sooner team. And obviously the quarterback who you've alluded to tonight, going to be at the very top of most preseason Heisman lists, and Spencer Rattler.
Major, a clear path into the end zone. And now this score is going to get real ugly. Flag is down. See if they walk this back. Flag is down at the 10-yard line, and they will.
Number 77, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
And Florida's sitting here down by 28 points right now.
Eric Swinson going to pull around here once again. We have the counter. Swinson gets there on Burney, gets that arm around. Is close call. Burney trying to shed that block, and official saw enough to throw the flag. And you were mentioning it. This Florida team, they don't typically get blown out.
No. In the last 30 years, Dusty, Florida's been beaten by more than 30 points only 4 times. Only 4 times in the last 30 years. Wow. Right, back it up to the 20-yard line on 2nd and 17. To the end zone and into the hands of Rambo. And Spencer Rattler is still getting after the Gators. That guy had a lot to do with it. Seth McGowan had the big reception, put him in position, and a 97-yard drive in the fourth quarter.
You got it all working here tonight against the Gators, and quality pass there by Spencer Rattler off his back foot, just a little flick of the wrist, and ball put in perfect placement for Charleston Rambo to bring in another touchdown.
20-yard touchdown to Rambo from Rattler. Rattler has 3 touchdown passes on the night. Has that touchdown run too, and has the look of a guy who knows exactly where things are headed in the future, doesn't he? 48-13 in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Bowl, number 2 Clemson, number 3 Ohio State. Got the Spencer.
I'm with you. So dynamic, so explosive. He's been so much fun to watch this year.
Davis trying to go ahead for a few yards. Give me a sense of hope, if there is any, for Notre Dame.
Look, I think they're going to have to be able to establish a run game, because I think the only way, the best way to play defense against Alabama is to keep them on the sidelines. Like, to me, you've got to be able to play ball control. Ian Book's going to have to be able to make some throws and make some plays. But I think time of possession, keeping Mac Jones, keeping Devontae Smith, Najee Harris at bay over on the sidelines, I think that's the best, maybe only defense for what is the best offense in all of college football this year.
Holly?
Well, guys, one thing Notre Dame won't do is confuse Mac Jones. When we talked to him on our conference call today, it was really interesting. He has a 4.0. He just graduated with a master's degree as well, and he told us that he has 4 pages of goals that he wrote out when he first got to Alabama with the strength and conditioning coach at the time, Scott Cochran, and his father. He said, I've crossed off a lot of stuff on that 4 pages of goals, but more is still ahead for Mac Jones.
All that offensive talent that they loaded up on this year. 3rd and 6 for Emory Jones, and that is off the hands of Gamble.
It's been that kind of night for the Gators tonight, Joe. You know, without their star-studded pass catchers, and we've seen several drops throughout the course of the night, and just frustration on a lot of the faces of Florida players.
Listen, they're trailing by 35. Some perspective. We mentioned this last 30 seasons. You don't see blowouts when it comes to Florida. But if this score holds up, it's going to be right there. Only 4 times in the last 30 seasons they have lost by over 30. Rawshaw to punt. Mims the fair catch. Going to be fun to see Mims next year and all this talent on Oklahoma.
Players that have had great performances, but let's go with the quarterback, Spencer Rattler. Early on, dropping dimes to Marvin Mims. Well-designed play as you see the screen to Weeze, and he gets in the open field. Combined 4 touchdowns, 3 in the air, 1 on the ground.
Marcus Major adding to that total. By the way, Spencer Rattler, his night is done as Chandler Morris, the freshman from Highland Park nearby here in Dallas, is in the game. Morris had a touchdown run in the Big 12 championship game right here. He's Chad Morris's son, former head coach at Arkansas, who just wrapped up the season as Auburn's play caller and now headed to the bowl game. Auburn against Northwestern on New Year's Day. Marcus Major again, and a little pad leverage to Trey Dean. They're playing hard right through this fourth quarter, aren't they?
Physical finish to that run. How about the young fans in attendance tonight, Joe? Even padded up, brought the helmet and everything.
I love it. This guy's got a lot to smile about. He's watching that replay of his teammate Marcus Major getting a kick out of that. Spencer Rattler, 3 touchdown passes, 1 touchdown run tonight. 2nd and 4. Morris. Quick little pitch and catch to Mikey Henderson. Haven't even said his name. And here's a guy who's got incredible speed. He's got hands. He's an instant impact player. Lincoln Riley said to us the other day, he goes, it's going to be fun just to see where he ends up playing, what position, because he could be one of these great H-back tight ends they have. He could be a full-time running back. He's really a jack of all trades, 6'2", 234 pounds. Dynamic playmaker.
Versatility, man. As you just alluded to, he can do a little bit of everything, and I thought he'd have a bigger impact on the game here tonight. But moving forward, Mikey Henderson, a name to know in college football.
3rd and 2. And they'll be able to take more clock down as Major will get the first down for the Sooners. Morris to pass on 1st down. And it's incomplete as he was trying to connect with fellow freshman Trevon West.
Put themselves through so that we can all sit back and enjoy the game of college football that we love so much.
Very well said and very well done by Marcus Major. And add to the blowout. This thing just got real ugly when you look up at the bright lights on the scoreboard. Half a hundo being hung on the Gators. Man, oh man, has it gone south.
And that's the exclamation point, as now Oklahoma over 400 yards rushing in this game here tonight. Wow.
Got the backup quarterback in. We got the backup place kicker in. We got the backup running back for 110 yards. They're getting rolled. A roster is absolutely gutted with opt-outs. And this is what it looks like in the 4th quarter of a game like that. And you can hear the derision with the SEC chant for best in that first half. But it gave way. Right on the return. Flag is down at the end of that. And Oklahoma is bringing all kind of juice right to the end of this thing. More Driven Moment is brought to you by Goodyear.
And this might be the last time we see Ramondre Stevenson in a Sooner uniform. He's been so good tonight. Give credit to the big guys up front. Big gaping holes for Ramondre Stevenson. He showed power. He showed balance. Making guys miss. Whoop. And a huge night for number 29 in red.
Missouri back in 1946 had 408 rushing yards against Texas in the Cotton Bowl. That was back in 1946. Oklahoma's got 409 rushing yards right now. If they don't lose another yard, this is the Cotton Bowl record. Dameon Pierce with a good run. $55 points on the board for Oklahoma. That is a program record in a bowl game. Think of all the great Oklahoma teams through the years. Anthony Richardson in for Florida. True freshman quarterback. As he lowers his shoulder, he goes 6'4", 234 pounds. He's from East Side High in Gainesville. Big time recruit. And Dusty, you know the kind of quarterback that really fits a Dan Mullen system. Big, physical, like Dak Prescott.
Tim Tebow.
Yep.
Going back to Alex Smith whenever he had him in Utah. I think that'll be fascinating to see. Emory Jones, I think he's going to be the guy that has a leg up in the race. And I would think that Anthony Richardson's going to have every opportunity coming up in the spring and in the offseason to compete for that starting job. And, you know, one thing, I don't want to get lost, this is a good Florida football team this year. I mean, you know, we showed the numbers earlier, you know, barely lose to a really good Texas A&M team on the road. You know, oddly lose that in the fog that just didn't quite make sense. Played Alabama tougher and better than anyone else in the country has to this point. And they're going to end this season on a 3-game losing streak. And I think it's going to get lost just how good of a team and the strides that Dan Mullen continues to make in year number 3 as the Gators head coach.
Lorenzo Lingard with the carry there as the flag is down. He was a prize prospect a few years ago. Final 4.5 minutes here. And you're getting ready, getting the Gatorade ready to be Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic champions.
Passing team number 89, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
This stands would be the largest margin of defeat for Florida in the last 30 years. Last 30 years.
Wow. Crazy to think, because again, I have the utmost respect. Third time I've had this Florida team this year. It's a good football team. And clearly, as you mentioned, gutted from some of their personnel, but still did not anticipate this type of performance here tonight.
There's only so much you can ask at a certain point. Richardson to pass here on first down. Now he tucks and runs, and you can see how he can accelerate. It's a good run by Anthony Richardson. Had a sensational career at Eastside High School. Went for over 4,600 passing yards. And if you're a big fan of the Netflix series QB1 Beyond the Lights, you'll get a hefty dose of Anthony Richardson. His senior year of high school, he was filmed for that streaming series. Richardson to the end zone and gets the touchdown to Pouncey.
Career he's had there at Clemson.
Chris Howard makes the extra point here.
And, you know, get a look and see what the prospects for next year might hold.
Well, what do you think next?
Kyle Trask. I mean, he's had so much success at that position. It starts at that spot. But I like what he's built here in 3 years. 3 years, 3 New Year's, 6 games. And again, one thing they hadn't done since he'd gotten to the SEC championship game this season.
Schaefer in at quarterback as they're going to be unloading the bench here, Holly.
Well, you keep bringing up Dak Prescott, and so I have kind of a cool little update for you guys. Dak Prescott actually came here before the game and went in and visited with Dan Mullen. He was on crutches in that boot as he comes back from that ankle injury. I think it's really cool that he made time. That's the kind of relationship he has with Dan Mullen and Brian Johnson, guys that helped him out in his college career at Mississippi State. And here he came on crutches and everything. Dak Prescott making an appearance here today to see his good friend Dan Mullen.
And Holly, that high water mark in 2014, Mississippi State, remember he got off that 9-0 start. Mikey Henderson with the carry. We told you he can do it all. Put him in the backfield, have him play H-back. Remember, stay tuned for live post-game coverage of the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic on SportsCenter after the game. Going to be a lot of perspective in terms of the numbers, the history of the route, and what they were able to do with the run game. Some of the historical perspective that we've already shared with you. 55 points, a program record for a bowl game for Oklahoma.
And then here tonight, again, we're going to give these running backs a lot of praise, as well we should. But the line of scrimmage was absolutely dominated by the Oklahoma offensive line, and that's what's helped aid a Cotton Bowl record 431 yards on the ground.
431 rushing yards, a Cotton Bowl record. And this is one of the grand games of being, tradition rich with power programs, with some of the best who have ever come through here. You got to go all the way back to 1946 to break that mark. That was Missouri went for 408, 1946, and they shatter that record tonight here against Florida. By the way, it's a great time of the year to just settle in and watch ball nonstop, isn't it? I know we spend so much time talking about the CFP, and Friday afternoon through Friday evening is going to be special with what we get with the Rose Bowl game presented by Capital One right here, and then the All-State Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. But I'm very excited for what you're going to be doing, right? New Year's Day at noon. JT Daniels and Georgia against that undefeated Cincinnati team. That should be fascinating. They're stalking Coach Riley. They're stalking. They're hunting their prey here, Dusty.
I think he figured out something was going on, and I think he's standing back and telling them to stay away. But no, I appreciate you mentioning that. We do have the Peach Bowl. I can't wait to see Cincinnati. That Georgia football team has been completely different since JT Daniels has taken over at quarterback. And Cincinnati, I think they're looking for respect felt that they were a little disrespected after a 9-0 season, and there it is. Lincoln Riley finally gets the bath that he's been waiting for. His first postseason bowl victory since he's been a head coach, and his first win against the SEC, and an impressive fashion here tonight, Joe.
Remember, he was only 33 years old when he got the job. 4th year as Oklahoma's head coach, and no other Oklahoma coach has as many wins in their 4th year as Lincoln Riley. And they got legends, Wilkerson and Switzer and Stoops, but here he is, and he gets to taste the victory of a bowl win. A Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic champions, and they do it in style. Kyle Trask, the Heisman finalist, it went south immediately in the first quarter. 3 interceptions and held without a passing touchdown in a start for the first time in his career. And 55 points, a program record for a bowl game for Oklahoma when they run for 435 yards. 435 rushing yards. That is a Cotton Bowl record. 55-20 the final. Oklahoma takes it. For Holly and Dusty, I'm Joe Tessitore, saying enjoy the rest of your night, including SportsCenter coming up right now.